Africa condemns this unacceptable moral, legal, and humanitarian failure and demands an immediate end to the unjust war against the Palestinian people and for the immediate implementation of the two-state solution. I again express the African Union's full and unwavering support to the Palestinian people, and as a non-aligned movement, we should all demand a stand for international justice and international law for all people fighting for freedom and dignity. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, during the early days of the movement, its actions were key factors in the decolonization process, while later led to the attainment of freedom and independence of many countries across the globe. Throughout its history, the non-aligned movement has played a fundamental role in the preservation of world peace and security. You would agree with me, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, that the founders of NAM have preferred to declare it as a movement instead of an organization in order to avoid bureaucratic implications of the latter and to reinforce its values as a movement for political and social justice. The membership criteria formulated during the preparatory conference in Cairo, Egypt in 1961 shows that the movement was not conceived to play a passive role in the international politics, but to formulate its own positions in an independent manner so as to reflect the interests of its member states. Much has been achieved, but we continue to face many challenges, old and new. Current challenges facing NAM include the necessity of protecting the principles of international law, eliminating weapons of mass destruction, combating terrorism, defending human rights, working towards making the United Nations more effective in meeting the needs of all its member states in order to preserve international peace, security, and development, as well as justice in the international economic system. The climate change crisis is a new but urgent global challenge. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Africa has surmounted numerous challenges in the past from which the continent has learned key lessons as it gears up to build the Africa we want and the Africa we deserve, as outlined in our Continental Development Agenda, Agenda 2063. The African Continental Free Trade Agreement, launched by the African Union, represents a global market of more than 1.3 billion people to boost intra-African trade, but also with the world to deepen cooperation for shared affluence. Despite this progress made, many African countries are still facing different forms and magnifications of terrorism, as well as transnational organized crime that risk to undo the important developmental gains on the continent. Africa is now a member of the G20, a key global platform to express the views of the continent with the rest of the world. However, the reform of international global political, financial, and economic institutions to ensure global equity remains a priority for Africa and the Global South.